Let's take a moment and check out the Initial and System Setup menu on Pioneer's DEH-X3700S. So right now we're on the CD source. Let's turn the system off. I'm going to press and hold the source button here for a couple seconds and turn the system off, and I have my clock in the display. And then we're going to press in on the volume control and we'll get into the Initial menu. So right now we're in System. Let's roll over to the Initial menu and we can press Enter and go into, the first thing is System Reset, and if we want to reset the system back to the factory settings, press in on the volume control here and we'll reset back to factory settings. Let's roll over one and get our speaker and Rca Pre Out Mode. So we can hook up 4 speakers. This refers to the rear speaker on the system, and we have 2 sets of RCA outputs, front and rear, or front and subwoofer output. So PO refers to the rear RCA output. Let's enter in here. Right now our system is set up with our rear speakers as full range and our RCA output, the rear RCA output, set up as subwoofer output. We want to change that, just roll over with the volume control. And now both the rear speaker output and the rear RCA output are set to subwoofer output. And roll over one more time, and both the rear speaker output and rear RCA output are set to full range output. But I want to run a subwoofer in my system on the rear RCA out, so I'm going to roll over to this setting, which is full range for the rear speaker output and subwoofer for the rear RCA output. When you're done making those adjustments, you can just press the source button to escape. So on any of our sources, or right now we're on the CD source, let's press in on the volume control and we'll take a look at the System menu. We're going to roll over in our menus here until we find System. Here we go, and we'll press Enter. The first thing we'll look at is our information display, and this is the information that is displayed on the lower portion of the display area here. Let's open that up. Now please note that you have to have your volume at least set to 1 or higher for any information to come up here. This is our spectrum analyzer. We can roll over to a level meter. We can have the source listed there, or we can have the clock. However you like to set this up, we'll roll over right now, or we can turn all of the information off on that lower display. We'll leave it as the spectrum analyzer for right now. And we'll go back. We can turn Auxilary on or off in our System menu, and that means if you use the Auxilary input on a regular basis right here, you're going to want to leave Auxilary on, because that will leave Auxilary in your source list when you press the source button. If you don't typically use the Auxilary input, you want to switch this off. So we'll switch it off for right now. So let's roll over to the next setting, which is our clock set. For more information about setting the clock, you can check out the clock set video. You can just press Enter here and enter into the clock setup. We'll go back and roll over to the next setting, which is the clock format, 12-hour or 24-hour. Just press in on the volume control to choose the format that you like there. And roll over again. We're back to the info display. At any time, you can press the band button to escape.